everybody, and welcome to the Sundry series. My name is Tracy Ford. I'm the host and the owner of this channel. And tonight we're going to be talking about public speaking. And the first thing that I want to say about public speaking is it's a process. And most of that process is going to be connecting with other people. For example, the first public speaking event that I was involved in, I believe, was for a local writers guild, and it was kind of a sit around the table type thing, and it was not what I expected, but it was definitely an experience. I enjoyed it. And in fact, I think that's the only public speaking event. No, it's not. I apologize. I've done the guild, and then I also did a public speaking event at a local school for middle schoolers who were interested in becoming writers. And I spent the whole day in an English class filled with middle schoolers coming in and coming out, talking to them about becoming a writer. And then when I substitute teach, typically we'll get on that subject with my high schoolers and my middle schoolers about how do I become a writer? What does that look like? So in a way, that is a public speaking opportunity. However, what I'm talking about is more formal in nature. These are going to be venues, especially local venues like colleges, universities, or private organizations, public organizations, local schools, high school, workshops, different things like that. A lot of the things that we discuss here on the Sundry series could be platformed, like I could jump off of those and feature those for public speaking events, which is an idea that I'm knocking around in my head. So I guess it's only appropriate that I talk to you about public speaking, since I think that might be a route that I go in the future. If you are writers, and this is basically the thing that I'm going to focus on today, is writing, because that's what I know and that's what I do. Although this can apply for musicians as well as artists, creators of any type, as well as public speaking in general. I've spoken to the public about different topics, not just writing. But when I was involved in child welfare, I did a lot of community work. I was a puppeteer at one point for child safety, and did a lecture for local law enforcement about how we at the agency I was at did screening guidelines. So I have a pretty solid experience in public speaking, not just as a writer, but as a professional in the child welfare world. And then I also did public speaking in the private sector. When I worked for a cell phone company, you name it, I've done public speaking. Public speaking does not bother me at all. I do not get nervous. I have been a singer all of my life. I have been in drama productions. Getting up in front of people is the last thing that intimidates me. So, if you choose to host your own workshop or your own public speaking event, which you absolutely can do, link with a local place that can provide a forum for you. For example, if you have like a little theater, like a theater in your area that has like auditorium seating or whatever, or a high school. A high school is a great place, especially with the high schools now that have been modernized as auditoriums. See if they'll let you do a public speaking event in the evening or in the afternoon or on a Saturday or whatever. And there may be a cost associated with that. Find out. Find out if it's worth paying the cost. Decide whether you're going to charge people to come or whether it's going to be a free event. You need to make those decisions before you decide to do a public speaking event. Now, the ones I've been involved in, I've been invited there as a guest. So that's the experience that I have. And always, 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 no matter whether it's a planned event, whether you are doing it as a writer, whether you're doing it in your profession, have a plan. Always have a plan. I am a teacher at heart, so I always have a lesson plan. I always know what we're going to talk about at the beginning, the middle, and the end. I typically have a PowerPoint, and I also allow for audience interaction because I think that's the best part of learning is audience interaction. If you can engage your audience, then you're doing pretty well. For example, I was substitute teaching one day, and we were in an English class, and we were talking about the Pied Piper poem. Well, somehow we got from the Pied Piper to how it was viewed in history, to Bigfoot hunting, to believing in aliens. I mean, we went all over the place, but guess what? That's how creativity works. As long as you can bring it into significance into what topic you're covering, allow for kids, especially kids, to interact with you, to talk to you. They're going to learn and remember better if they can associate what you're telling them with something that they hold dear to them. Not that aliens are being held dear by anyone, but the subject matter was enough to grab attention and to form a discussion, and that's what you want. You want interaction. Food. If you are doing a public event, food, always food. People will come for food. Get food that people like, whether it's donuts, whether it is muffins, meat trays, cheese trays, vegetable trays, Subway, whatever. Food. Bring them food. The very first year that I hosted the child abuse awareness event in the county that helped me get where I am today by letting me go. The first year I did that, I invited all community members that were stakeholders in child welfare and child protection. And then we also had guests from the state come down to talk about a new program that was coming in. But the memorable part of that whole event was the food. We had Baby Cakes Bakery cater that event, and it was amazing. That's the one thing that people kept raving about was the food. So that's what I keep in mind now, because all of those experiences that I thought I would never use again, guess what? I'm using them now. So nothing was wasted. All of that heartache and all of that negativity and all of that craziness and me thinking I'm going to lose my mind because I don't have a job. Guess what? I'm alive and I'm okay. And I've taken all of those experiences and put them towards what I do right now. And success has shown its pretty face. So that I am thankful for. I can't thank them enough for giving me the opportunity to learn my own strengths and how to stand on my own 2 feet. You've made me a better writer, and you've made me a better PR person. So I can't thank you enough for that. The next thing that I want to talk about is know your stuff. You are going to be seen as a professional. And whenever I spoke about child welfare, I knew my stuff. I knew what the screening guidelines were. I knew what it meant to do screenings, what it meant to, I knew what the laws were. I used that to explain things to people, not only administrative staff that had no idea what they were doing, but I had to educate them on many of the laws that were put in place to protect us as agencies and children. So I transferred that knowledge to my writing in the fact that I have to know my stuff. I have to know about character development, plot development, writing in general, grammar, editing, cover design. I have to know about pretty much all of it and be able to speak intelligently about those things. So know your stuff. When you're getting ready to get up in front of people, you better know what you're talking about, because if you don't, you're going to look kind of foolish, and you don't want to do that either, because then your credibility goes right out the door. Dress the part. Always dress professionally, especially if it is a public event where there's going to be, where you're giving a lecture. I suggest that you dress very well, not go out and buy brand new clothes, but in a nice pair of dress pants, a dress jacket, a blouse, a skirt, a dress, dress the part. Because if you go in wearing holey jeans and a t-shirt, people are going to be like, what in the world have I just come to? You have to make an impression. That first impression is going to last. And then when people walk out of that building or out of that workshop, they're going to be like, wow, I'm telling so-and-so what I just went to see. Word of mouth is the best advertising. The last thing I'm going to say is always be friendly. Even if you get into a situation where people are criticizing your work, criticizing you, criticizing your writing, take it in stride. Be friendly. Nod your head. Thank them for their opinion. Let them know that you honor their opinion and you respect their opinion, but you don't necessarily have to share it. And you don't have to be mean about it. You can be very matter of fact, but always be friendly and always be polite unless someone absolutely is disrespectful to you. And even then I would be careful about being disrespectful back, because you have people that are watching you and watching how you handle stress and how you handle situations that are difficult and complicated and hurtful. So, and that applied for me in child welfare as well. So that transfers over into my writing career. I didn't realize how well prepared I am for a writing career just because I worked at that one particular agency. They have really prepared me well for all of the things that we've talked about as far as public speaking goes. Anyway, I would like to thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions at all, you can email me or leave a comment here. It's tracyford@rocketmail.com, oswinpublishing@yahoo.com. And if you would like to schedule a public speaking event, please do so. You can contact me at the email address, and either email address, and we will absolutely get back with you. Other than that, have a great day wherever you are. Love and light. Bye.